The whole mob starts chasing after him, and Foxy leads from behind everybody. And then Chicken Little falls off going, "Stop, stop!" And you cut to the roadside as this flatbed truck approaches camera, and the Minibot zooms in front of it and up to the clock tower, and it stops on the clock, silhouetted against it. Looks down off stage towards the mob approaching, continues up the tower, up to the top, to the highest point, and just settles there. As it reaches the camera and it looks around, where did it go, where did it go? And from behind you see these eyes appear on the Minibot and just sort of descend behind it, and they turn to go, ah! And it runs off. It jumps off screen, and Foxy yells, "Let's get it, let's get it!" And they all chase off again.
Yay.
Yay. Really nice.
I've got this shot of Chicken Little catching a soda bottle, and because he's so small, I really want him to catch the soda bottle, put it behind his back, and then kind of take off, you know, from this screen, you know, out, and then it'll cut to another shot where Chicken Little's flying through the air. So I've got him kind of shaking the soda bottle right now, and then he's going to kick the cap off, and now he disappears. But now this is where I want to try and work out where he's actually going to, and how he's actually going to take off. So I'm just going to kind of squash his body down here, like this.
We've got a whole studio of these animators that are now animating 3D animation, but we have such a heritage of 2D animation. There it is. I mean, we figured out ways to introduce drawing right back into the process.
That's what we really like to do, is those kind of stretch poses, and I'm going to use these drawings as reference later on to actually work out my animation. It doesn't really feel like a puppet. It feels very, very fluid, like, you know, like the character actually exists. And then when he actually takes off, if I play this at speed, you know, you'll actually see him take off. Then what I would actually do is, now that I'm kind of happy with the workings of this one, I'd actually use this as reference. And there's my little stretch drawing right there.
Wow.
He catches the soda bottle, shakes it, kicks it, and off he goes.
Wow.
This is an idea we've had to help transition our traditional animators into the world of 3D. Our animation rigs are very complicated. They're like very sophisticated puppets. So to make that easier, to navigate and find your way around that complicated system, we built this thing we call shelf control, and really it's like a roadmap for the character. Each button is laid out in a way that makes sense. So these are obviously the hands. This is the character's head, chest, hips, and so on. So I can pick his head, which is right around here, and then I can move it, or I can bend it. Another cool thing we do here is we let the animators decide just how far is too far. In other words, even though that's a real arm, we pull it, we can actually stretch it here as far as we'd like.
That's been the most amazing thing to me about the CG film is to realize how the model could be stretched in any shape you wanted it.
One of the things that we're trying to do on this show that's, I think, unique to Chicken Little is animators are actually animating the surface material of the character, and that's adding to the level of appeal in the animation.
You're figuring out all the camera rigs and how, from a cinematographer's viewpoint, the film is going to look.
Yeah, absolutely. What we do is we build the set, right? We put the set together, and we always put it together with an eye towards, wow, what's it going to look like when you get your camera in there? But the most important thing that we do, is we stage the camera, and we stage the action, and we capture it with the camera. We actually have the camera that shot the teaser that we did for the movie, and it's actually a camera taking a picture of our camera at work, so you can see some of the mechanics and how it kind of it duplicates sort of what we were talking about, this whole live action tool set. So as the camera moves, it pans and it tilts, and if you watch up here, you can see that it zooms.
Oh, wow. Through the set.
And we're marching through the set that we built.
And those are newspaper or television reporters up there, but they're only parts of their bodies show?
That's correct, because actually we're only seeing their arms and we're only seeing the microphones. So we didn't need the heads, although it looks like some bad zombie movie. We only needed the arms and the microphones, and so we're looking at Chicken Little. And he's just being framed by all of those reporters. We pan over. And this is kind of a fun part, because the camera rig chases Chicken Little towards the house. And you can see from the jars and the jitters and the stuff that we're doing that we've
like
added
a
kind of the
handheld
handheld
camera.
thing, right? And so it's bouncing and it's bobbling and it's doing its thing.